Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Let me see who was here first. Lydia Washington, thank you for being here. Mama Styles, who else is here? Noreen Bengali, thank you for being here. Ingrid Soares, hi. Khalil Similane, thank you for being here. Manello, Dorcas Baker, thank you for being here. Okay, speaking of which, let me get my slides up. Okay, multitask, and success. All right, let me see who else is here. Connie Balmer! Well, thank you so much for being here. Joya Moore, Letitia Williams, Lola Love, Andrew Bodie. Now, I thought I saw a super chat. There we go. Jennifer Clark. No, super sticker. Thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Okay. And I'm just going to go all the way to the end. Lorna Williams, thank you for the great profile pic. All right. Go all the way to the end. And Pam Porter's the last one in. Thank you so much for being here. All right. So there's that. Okay. Make that, oh no, there we go. There we go. That's the layout I'm looking for. And I'm going to get rid of myself out the corner there. Very cool. All right. Hello, Lane Parker, Kenneth Ash. I'm sorry, Kennether Ash, rather. Madison Bonaparte, Carolyn Teal, April May, T.R. Sirug, Patricia Smith, thank you for being here. Faye Christie, H. Knight. Very cool. Thank you all for being here. Okay, let me get rid of that. Keep that. Get rid of that. Pardon me while I close up some things. I got too many screens open. And, oh, let me see where Kaboom is right now. All right, so the Kaboom fundraiser is at $67,000. Is that right? $434, which is 337% over the goal that they were trying to reach. And there is so far 1,565 people who have shown their support. So if you choose to make a donation, just remember you are very capable of leaving a comment. In other words, if you want to dedicate it to your family, to your friends, your partner, or to the birthday boy, Prince Archie Harrison Mountbatten-Windsor, or perhaps to both the prince and princess of the Sussex household, the little prince and princess. Or if you would like to, whatever, just say it's from the Sussex Squad, you are able to leave a description with your pledge or your support. Yeah. Okay. So let me see here. Let me open up another screen so I can see what you are seeing, and then we're good to go. Wunderbar. Okay. There we go. Now I can see what you guys are seeing. Always helpful. Do you see what I see? Okay. E. Lichtenstein, thank you for being here. Antoinette Kennedy, thank you. Monroe Taylor Classic Movie Channel, Light Side of the Moon. All right. Light Side, when are you going to get your channel up and running? Rosanna Smith, so we can all come over and support you. Hey, Rick, thank you for being here. Okay. All right, so let's get into it. Wait, one more thing. Sorry, you guys. Pile on in. We are good to go. Oh, no. Why did that happen? Oh no. All right. As what's her name says on Friends? I love when she says that. Phoebe. Oh no. That is my Phoebe Buffet impersonation. Oh no. I liked Friends though. I really love that show. It was fun. What I loved about it is that, oh, wait a minute. Is there an echo? Good. All right. And good. All right. So let's get on to it. Sorry about that, you guys. Again, this is Royal Sussex. Thank you so much for being here. Hello, Lucy Wynn. And there is Prince Harry. So, what I've done, I've taken the liberty of sorting out a few photos from yesterday that I do believe I neglected to share with you. Um, and well, this is one of them. And this, of course, is our Prince Harry. We take ownership of him. Our Prince Harry. Of course, we don't own anybody, but you know what I'm saying. Um, he's our Prince Harry. That's kind of like an English thing. And he was absolutely radiating with joy. And I tell you, I believe that this may have been something that had been like contagious from being married to the Duchess of Sussex, because this is kind of like her exit strategy. Not really a strategy, but she just did not let them take her joy away from her. And so you can see Harry has very much settled into that type of mindset. You're not stealing my joy away from me. And I like that. I like that. I think it just makes sense. Why would you allow people to take your grace away from you? So I am really digging that. So, and then right here, I wasn't sure if he was actually smiling at Anne. You can't really tell if Anne returned the smile or if she smiled first. But either way, it did not matter. Harry was in a good place. He is in a good place. And so he's not going to, let that distract him. So good for him. And as for Anne, if she wants to, harken back to the Napoleonic War, if she wants to, if she wants to look like she captains a tall ship or something like that, that's her affair. Um, oh, he did laugh at whatever Anne said. I'm sure it was, yeah, I'm sure it was classic Anne. Whatever she said, I'm sure it was something sharp and witty, and maybe even, a little pointed at someone else, maybe at someone else's expense. But that's Anne. That's how she rolls. So she's staying true to herself. But yeah, so that was cool. And there is the smile. There is the smile. Let's see, who is that? Joyce Yvette Davis. Thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Um, so I am. Where is that? Is this it? Yes, that's it. That's it. So I am feverishly trying to. I just thought about one more thing that I wanted to share, and I am feverishly trying to get it to you. Let me see if I can do this. I hope I don't get dinged for it. Elaine Parker, thank you for the super sticker, and thank you so much for being here. And Elaine Parker, thank you for being the newest help me out. Moderator, you're doing a smashing job. Thank you so much. This has never been such a safe space without you. Well, yes, it has, but but now it's even a safer space. I was trying to be, I'm multitasking. I need to focus. Rick, hello, Rick. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Yeah, I don't want to slight the other moderators, so I have to be careful. Oh, it did not go through. Let me try that one more time. Let me try one more time. Share. And okay, why is that not working? All right, so let me continue here. Verta Sanchez says, where is Verta here? Verta says, family, I would like to ask you all to please be considerate of the way that people write because I just had an incident. I had a handle with a person making fun of another person, and we do not do that. No, of course not. We only make fun of the wizards. Everybody knows that. Well, at least I do. At least I do. Maybe I should speak for myself. But yeah, we freestyle on the Windsors, but not each other. Yeah, it's very important that we are being respectful to each other because this is a Sussex-friendly safe space. That's the whole point of it. This is a Sussex-friendly safe space. And as the story goes, and I have told it so many times, I'll tell it again. When I first started this channel, I was given the advice to get rid of the trolls, and I did, and I haven't looked back. And if nothing else, it only helped the channel grow. You don't lose anything by getting rid of the trolls. So you got to put people first. That is the most important thing. Always put people first. Don't put money, don't put pride, put people first, and you cannot go wrong. That has been how I have lived my life, and I'm just saying it may not be for everyone, but you just have to have confidence in your position, and everything will be okay. It always works out in the end. So thank you, Berta Sanchez. I really do appreciate that. Now, there was something really creepy that happened at the Westminster Abbey. And maybe you guys have seen it, maybe not. And I thought for sure that it was what did I think it was? I thought it was like, somebody just messing around. Turns out it was a real thing. So I am feverishly trying to, oh, there it is. I think I'm going to add some dramatic music to it because it deserves drama. It deserves drama. Trust me, this will be worth it. Oh man, this will be worth it. Trust me, trust and believe when I say this. It will definitely be worth it. Give me just a second here. There it goes. Suspense. How do you like this one? Maybe that's too long. Let me see. No, I think that's perfect. I think that's perfect. Let me see. I'm going to try it. Perfect. And then at the end, it just goes south. Just goes. Okay. Oh, why do I hear myself? Oh, perfect. Perfect. I love it. Okay. I promise you guys, I'm going to share this with you in seconds. Give me just a moment to do this. I hope you're not one to have nightmares. Because this is the stuff of nightmares, I promise you. Let me see, share. Get it over there. And okay. Here goes. So Are you guys ready for it? All right, here we go. Here we go. That was real. Did you guys see it? It went by really fast, but let me do it for you again. Let me do it for you again. Um, seriously, this is a thing. This is a thing. Hold on. Hold on. I will get, if in case you missed it, I will get that for you again. Um, but it is truly the stuff of nightmares. Okay, here we go. Watch closely. You got to look all the way in the background. Now, oh man, considering the average age of certain members of the royal family, that generation from the past, I cannot help but think that he was looking for somebody. Now, whether it was the the man of the hour, I don't know, but he was looking for someone, and the internet has been a buzz about that, especially the Twitter streets. But yeah, I'm gonna do it one more time for you. It looks like the Grim Reaper. Who is he looking for? Does he have business? Oh, by the way, Rick, thank you so much in case I forgot to say so. But he's looking for someone. He is looking for someone. He's got work to do, and nobody is going to keep him from his job. Who is he looking for? Oh, man. I saw that and I was just like, no, that's not real. But it is. It looked like the Grim Reaper. Let me see. Laura Bonnet, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. But yeah, that right there ought to send shivers down your spine. Who, what was that? What? You know, I would like to say what on earth, but it almost seems like something supernatural, but it looked like it was something not of this world. So I don't know. I don't know. It could have been some member of the clergy or something like that. Or let me see. I just did like I don't know. I guess I should have zoomed in on it, but I just did it like this. Oh man, but it needed that dramatic music. Oh, what was that? Who was that? Who is he looking for? Charles, Camilla, huh? Um, Princess Michael of Kent, Prince Michael of Kent. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I just noticed who wasn't there. The Duke of Kent. I don't remember seeing him at the coronation. I hope he's okay. The Duke of Kent. Uh, oh man, that one of the yeah, it could have been because that place is filled. What did someone said yesterday? I forgot. I think it's 3,000 people are entombed in the Westminster Abbey. Well, the place, when the Queen had her coronation, they managed to cram 8,000 people in there. So, yeah, I guess given the square, I don't know. Let me see here. Menina, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for the very cool profile pic. Yeah, we love yellow t-shirt guy. Yes, I've been there, Corona. I've been there actually maybe 3 different times, and I could see all. I mean, a lot of the names and everything are eroded from the pavement inside because of the hundreds of years of traffic. And so yeah, I can believe it, but it's just like to find yourself surrounded by the relics of so much humanity just doesn't seem like it's logical. But yeah, I could believe it. I could definitely believe it. Uh, there was actually a church that I went to in, I want to say it was Lisbon, and the church, they actually removed all of the tombs and replaced the slabs with wooden flooring, and they put all of the bones in a huge pit in the lower part of the church. And there's actually a piece of glass over it where you can look down and you can see all of the bones, like just all mixed in there together. Let me see. Did you get that message on Twitter? You know what? I don't know. As a matter of fact, I know I didn't because I didn't even look at any of my Twitter messages today. Now that you mention it, I did not look at any, Sean. Let me see. Let me see what you got for me. I did not look at your tweet. That doesn't sound strange, does it? I don't see it. Did you use the Royal Sussex tweet? I hope so. Please use the Royal Sussex tweet. Don't use any other one. But yeah, if you can, send it again on the Royal Sussex tweet, and I'll make sure that I take a look at it. But yeah, that's the one I prefer, the Royal Sussex tweet, because it's so difficult for me to keep up with all of the Twitter and all of the accounts that I have. So that is preferable. But thank you so much, and I will make sure that I look for it. Thank you again, Sean. Okay, moving on. So this is Harry's very cheeky look into the camera. I believe that was on his way out. Now, I'm going to say that I do believe that this may have been him. It looks like he's, I guess, waving to his kids, waving to Megan, waving. It seems very personal, even though it is, beamed around the world, his image. It feels very personal. It's like, hey, Sussex squad, hey, Megan, hey, kids. It seems very, very personal. Yeah. I'm looking at the picture behind him. I do not see Prince Michael of Kent. I'm sorry, the Duke of Kent. I do not see the Duke of Kent. I see Prince Michael. I see Princess Michael, but that's who's missing and he wasn't on the balcony. I just realized he wasn't there. Does not. Let me see. Hazel Jones says the Duke's wife does not attend royal events anymore. Oh, okay. Yeah, when they had the ceremony for the 70th, what was it, the Platinum Jubilee, he didn't even use the steps to get in. He had to go in on the side because I don't think he could handle the steps. So I don't know. But anyway, he was on the balcony, huh? Oh, we'll see. Okay, so, and then, of course, there's that one. Now, you guys, my eyes are drawn to someone on the photo on the right. That, of course, is Princess Michael of Kent. Now, she must be at least a few feet behind Harry. If she's not giving me Wayland Flowers and Madam, I don't know who is. I am getting Wayland Flowers and Madam. The older she gets, the more she's looking like Madam. I don't suspect she's used anything to enhance her appearance, but I'm so morbidly curious as to why she's so far behind Harry, and yet it seems like her face is massive. I'm just I'm just saying, I'm not even trying to be cruel. I'm just curious as to why. Maybe it's an optical illusion, but her face is massive in comparison to a grown adult male, Harry. And of course, I'm sorry, what is her name? Princess Michael of Kent, Maria Christina something something something. She's actually the one who wore the blackamoor brooch, um, that people say may have been a slight to Meghan when she first met the family. I say it was like a premonition. It was like a precursor to of things to come. But I digress. And she's also the one who had the pet goats. One, actually, two, both of them were black goats, and it is has been said by a person of color who used to date her daughter that he found out that the two goats were named Venus and Serena. Yeah, that's that charming lady behind Harry with the massive face. So if I was choosing to, you know, go there, I don't feel bad if it's taken in the wrong context, because that is a dreadful human being. I think one of the things that shocked me about her was the casual nature of the casual way that she can be very nasty. Like, she did an interview and they brought up the topic of Princess Diana. And she said, in a very full throated way, with all the authority of a prude, she said that one of the problems Diana had was the fact that she didn't have much education. Well, given the way she was snatched away from her youth by her grandmother, by Charles's grandmother, and everybody else who plotted to find a worthy virgin within the realm for Charles to marry, I guess she didn't have room for any other pursuits in life. The other thing that she said that was so nasty and so casually predictable of, for her, is she said that, oh, Diana came from a broken home and that surely had some. Okay, okay, I'll buy that. That probably had caused some problems for her growing up, seeing that her mother lost custody of her to her father and all those things. But that's saying the quiet parts out loud. That is something that, as a family member, I would not feel comfortable going on television saying to everybody in the world. But of course, she's not Harry. She's not a senior royal. So nobody cares what she thinks. And of course, I don't know how anything to do with Diana could have caused her any type of pain or have impacted her life, other than the fact that she and Diana did not get along. Um, Diana used to refer to her as the U-boat captain. uh, she referred to her as the U-boat captain because of her father was found out to have been a high-ranking Nazi, and anyway, uh, oh man, that's like one of my favorite nicknames, the U-boat captain. Uh, oh Lord. But anyway, so that's all I had to say about Waylon Flowers and Madam. Um, okay, okay, Sean, I see. Let me see here. Really? And I still don't see it. Huh? That's interesting. Well, I mean, I will take a look for it when I'm done. But anyway, I do thank you for that. But yeah, so let me move on. But thank you, Sean. I will definitely try to find that. Did I just miss a super chat? Did I? Oh, there it is. Tony says, I'm behind everyone, but that looked like the ghost of Queen Victoria. Yes, Victoria always wore black. After Albert died, okay, Albert died at age 42, right? And Queen Victoria said, "Oh, I shan't be long for this world." And then she lived like another, God, maybe how long? I think she lived another 40 years, didn't she? Something like that. But oh man, I love that. But yes, thank you, Tony. But that does look like Queen Victoria. Victoria always wore black, and yeah, I wouldn't expect her to move that fast, especially since, um, well, I can't say since, but I mean I shouldn't in mixed company. B. Martin, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. And happy Sunday to you. Thank you very much. All right, so there's Harry smiling, getting into that BMW. I think I did share this one yesterday, but why does the guy on the left side look like he got cornrows? I'm sure that his hair is wet, and maybe he just like stroked his hair back or something like that. But for a split second there, I'm like, does he have cornrows? That would be cool if he did, though. Appropriation, but cool. Beverly McCaskill says, I have said it before. I can't wait until we see all the lawsuits that are going to be coming from the Royal Rotor, the British media, and those nasty commentators. I hope so. I hope so. They were particularly nasty this weekend, of course, and and almost in the same breath, they want everyone to rejoice in the new king, and yet they are still doing the old nasty. I don't know how those two things exist in the same universe. Kai Smith says, I didn't watch the coronation yesterday. I wish Harry had not gone to the event. It seems like the tabloids are taking pleasure in royal family cruelty of Harry. Yeah, a continued pleasure. This is a continuation. They have not let up in the least bit. So, yeah, I hate that that happened, but either way, whatever they were going to criticize him, if you can find something wrong with someone every day, several times a day, that hasn't been seen for 3 or 4, even 5 months, then someone who has been as visible as Harry has, whether he's on this side of the ocean or the other side of the ocean, they will find something because that hate sells. That hate is a way to unify the Fleet Street people, the royal rodents, and all those people. It's one way to. It's like a sport amongst friends is to go after the Sussexes, and they make a lovely living doing it too. Anastasia Isabella says, Lord, that is not for me. Sorry about that. Okay. Let me continue then. And of course, no wire hangers ever. No wire hangers. Christina, what are those wire hangers doing in this house, in that closet? Well, I'm going to tell you, Harry doesn't use wire hangers either. So there's no fear that Joan Crawford is going to come after him or Faye Dunaway. There's absolutely no fear of that because Harry used, I believe, a looks like it's a velvet. Yeah, It looks like one of those very high-end velvet-covered hangers. American Airlines, do you have any luggage to check in? Harry, just this. When they ask you if you have any luggage and you hold up a hanger, that means you want to get out of there and fast. So, yeah, that is the extent of his luggage. Was a very posh hanger from the Dior collection. Yeah, that's it. No wire hangers ever. No suitcase, no duffel bag, none of that stuff. Harry literally carried a hanger through the airport. Yeah, it's almost as though he was making sure that he didn't leave any evidence of his visit other than the lovely images that we have on media, various types of media. There will be no evidence, no reminders that Harry has ever been here. So there you go. That is the extent of his luggage. So that was something that one of the squatties posted. No wire hangers. Kathy Jones, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for watching, Royal Sussex. Suzuki says, I guess Harry left his clothes that he wore to the UK. Yeah, he probably said burn them, or maybe he donated them or something. Who knows? But yeah, we don't even know what he wore. That's the thing, is we don't even know what he wore. Maybe he just didn't have the what do you call it? Maybe he didn't have his overcoat on, or maybe he didn't have his waistcoat on. Who knows? It's interesting, but I'm sure he had to have something. But looks like the only thing that he had for that, and of course, how long did the Daily Fail say he was there? I think they calculated 38 hours of travel and visit, and then he was out of there. 38 hours, not 48, 38. And of course, in the first class lounge, they have showers and everything. And I believe Harry, there's a VIP lounge at LAX, right? If he flew from LAX, there's a VIP lounge. I mean, it's, Hollywood. So Southern California, very wealthy oceanside communities and such. So there's a lot of wealthy people there, and they have a VIP area. Let's say if Harry has the Amex Centurion card. The Amex Centurion card is the black card, which gives you the ultimate access when you travel. And even without that, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're just like, you can use this. So yeah, they have showers and stuff like that. So he could have used that while he was traveling. You never know. Okay. Now, here we go. Royal fans are convinced Meghan Markle snuck into Coronation in disguise. The actual person who, and that's bad. If people look at you and think, nah, that's not your face, that's a disguise. That's pretty bad right there on its own. But no, that of course was not Meghan or anybody else for that matter in disguise. This is a very eccentric looking gentleman who likes to wear his tinted glasses, his tinted eyewear, and he loves that big gigantic Sonny Bono mustache. He doesn't seem to be very tall, so he's probably about the same height. And Val Ritchie say he got dressed in the car, huh? Well, I mean, we've all been there, haven't we? But yeah, so yeah, that's what they said, is that that was Megan in disguise. Of course, that's just like saying, Oh, I thought I saw the Grim Reaper at the coronation, and we all know that that's not true either. So who knows? But no, of course it wasn't Megan. As a matter of fact, you guys, I'm not going to say it. I'll wait until I hear you guys say it. Let me see here. Baron, Harry probably came straight from the plane, dressed on the plane. Oh, yeah, that's right. Went straight back the same way. Yeah, he could have changed on the plane. I mean, after all, it's first class. So they do have a pretty large. Oh, thank you for the Cash App, ICW. Thank you very much for the Cash App. But yeah, that's a possibility. Thank you for reminding us about that. Now, the Bridgerton star Adjoa Ando, yeah, stuns TV presenters by calling the Buckingham Palace balcony terribly white during live coronation coverage. Um, well, I saw that, and I think it's very easy to take that out of context. But I'm just gonna interpret it the way I heard it, and that is that it's a real shame that we have come from this very inclusive looking ceremony at the Westminster Abbey, only to go to the Buckingham Palace and you see, this terribly white balcony. And she was just speaking her mind. She was just speaking her mind, and I understand where she's coming from, right? It does, it's like a reminder. I think maybe I don't want to put words in her mouth, but I think perhaps she was just reminding us that despite this attempt to demonstrate this multicultural society, when it comes down to the power dynamics that make this society function, when it comes to the upper crust, when it comes to the leadership, when it comes to the decision makers, it is not as equal in those places, in those spaces. Um, they use people of color as window dressing. And I've long had this opinion about the idea of people bending over backwards to try to demonstrate that they are inclusive. Like, for instance, Donald Trump worked very hard to try to find Black people that he could showcase. And maybe that's the difference between the African American experience and people of African descent in the UK, is that we here in the United States, it's very difficult for someone like a Donald Trump to find people willing to play along with him. Now, before there was this like period of discovery during the campaign when we found out for sure who he was. See, outside of New York, most people didn't realize how racist he was. We only really learned that. I learned it during the presidential campaign. I saw him as his television personality, and that was it. I even watched the first one or two seasons of The Apprentice, and then the campaign came along, and then you hear people outside, actually people inside of New York that have known him speak about his history. And so he struggled to make his time in the White House seem more inclusive. And King Charles now, is likewise struggling to get people to perform for the coronation because the royal brand has been so damaged. And it wasn't just a matter of people noticing because of Meghan, it was people that were waiting for the queen to die. That's the only way I know how to say it. They were waiting for the queen to die. There were people who openly said years in advance that when the queen dies, this whole arrangement of the Commonwealth is going to unravel. And it didn't even take that long. It really started with Will and Kate. Will and Kate's trip to the Caribbean, people really underestimate how damaging that was. And of course, Megan is a factor, and of course, in a roundabout way, I'm pretty sure that the other thing that was being projected is the idea that you had a woman of color in your family, and we see how you treated her. We see how people went out of their way to vilify her. Ever since ancient times, anyone of a darker complexion has been vilified. And one of the biggest exports from the colonization of the world, the British colonization of the world, one of the biggest exports has been racism. Racism was put in a uh, global projection across the world, thanks to the colonization of, what is it, 92% of the countries in the world. Most of the globe, you can find some country that has been colonized by Britain. And the way that you could actually justify slavery is to make it seem as though you were actually doing the Lord's work, and in the name of the queen, in the name of the king. I think Charles is a nice person. I went to the Dumfries house. I thought it was brilliant. I loved everything about the Dumfries house. I saw it on TV. I wanted to go. I went, and it was one of the best experiences I ever had in the UK. However, you left your son, his wife, and their children open and exposed to the brutality of the tabloid media, and you are still doing absolutely nothing about it. Not a thing. There has not been any support from Charles, not as Prince Charles, not as King Charles. He's not going to do anything about it. How could you chastise the people that you call upon when your image is tarnished? How do you chastise the people that rescued you from what you've done with your first wife? You can't. The answer is you can't. You need them. And so, having given up that part of your independence, so to speak, now you have to rely upon them in order to stay above water. Otherwise, they'll tear you apart. But the sacrifice, whether it was you or your wife or whomever, whatever you sacrifice to get good press, um, it looks like the Sussexes are paying the worst price for it. Not even Andrew, but the Sussexes. Midwife K, thank you so much for the membership. Yeah, you're a new member. Congratulations and thank you. And I hope I don't let you down. Thank you very much. And Shelly L says, Harry got home before the sunset in time to taste Elton John's special punch and watch Archie blow out his candles. Well, I tell you what, that had to be the most satisfying thing for him, was to actually find himself back home, because the United States is home. Montecito is home. And so, and you know what, I'm going to talk about that soon. I'm getting so far behind. It's been nearly an hour and I'm only on the 12th slide, and I think I got 50. So I am going to shake a tail feather, but thank you, Shelly L. And thank you for your comment. I'm going to have to skip through a bunch of these. I'm sure I'm missing some good stuff. I'm missing some good stuff. Let me see here. Scroll. All right. All right, very good. Uh, so that's what I had to say about. Well, am I through with that? Yeah, that's what I had to say about that. Is I hmm, yeah, that's it. That's it. I think it was just a reminder. Wow, look at those shoes. You guys see those gold shoes? I just noticed those. That's cute. Anyway, what's that woman next to her wearing? Oh, Oxford. Yeah, okay. I can see that. So you have, oh Lord, I almost split my lip. Hmm. Yeah, she's wearing a. Is that a nanny? Is that a governess? What is she doing? Oxford's on. Well, I'm sure they're cute. Okay. Oxford is a street, not a shoe you wear on Coronation Day. Am I being petty or what? All right, I'm done with that. Let me see. Now, Aisha has is it Hazarika? Anyway, she says, I do think it's a shame that the historic optics could have been different if Megan had been there. I guess I'm not through with that. Would have, let me see, would have, is that a typo? Would have been a significant nod to the changing Britain. The royal family lost a big asset. Having some high profile people of color at the ceremony isn't the same thing. And I agree with that. Um, I know that it's done. There's nothing we could do about it. And I feel for Megan, for Barack Obama, even Lena Horne. When you have been the first of something, when you have been the only of something, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure. And if you guys have ever seen that documentary, I know I mention it all the time, but it's called Lena Horne, My Own Voice, or Her Own Voice. And it was on PBS. And I found myself in tears at the end of it because some of the narration came directly from Lena Horne. And after struggling for years, she only wanted to be a singer. The only problem is she wasn't a good singer. Um, she even said herself, I was a singer. And along the way, I became an artist. So she knew she didn't have the best voice, but she had the look. Like, for instance, they said Ella Fitzgerald didn't have the look, but she had the voice. But you couldn't have one and the same. So um, it was even said, could she sing? Nah, but she looks good, so just put her up there. So that's how Lena Horne got into singing. But people pressured her to act, and she didn't want to act. She wanted to sing. But people pressured her because she was the first. She could break the barriers. She could make a way for other people. You're credit to your race. You're this, you're that. She didn't want to be those things. She just wanted to sing. And when she left from Hollywood and went back to New York, they told her, they said, well, you know, you can't stay. What? You know, you can't stay. What do you mean? You got to go back to Hollywood and you got to make a way for the rest of us. That's a lot of pressure to put on someone to hold up the weight of an entire community just because of your appearance, because of your skin tone. Nobody cares whether you're brilliant or not, but that you have been accepted into these spaces and you can make a way for other people. That seems to take precedence over everything. That's a lot of pressure. I have watched that documentary over and over again because the message that I got from it was behind the person who is a credit to their race, who is the first of this and the only of that. There's somebody who just wants to be. You don't want to be all those things. You just want to be. And of course, you have to do these things whether or not you want to. And in most cases, people really do want to be the finest example of their race or their religion or their whatever background and nationality. But some days you just want to be. You know what I mean? Some days you just want to be. You don't always want to have to fight the fight. Some days you just want to, step out the house and go to the supermarket and not be a credit to your entire, racial history. But that is a luxury that even the most unknown person cannot afford because of the way racism is, the way society is. You have to put your best foot forward. You have to, even if you don't want to, you are an example of XYZ. So that is why I love that documentary. So if you haven't seen it, is Lena Horne's biography, where she speaks about her struggles of being this very unique person in some very unusual circumstances. I mean, she was quite the enigma because people really didn't know her. They had ideas of who she was, but they didn't know her, and she was so guarded she wouldn't let people in. She didn't trust people to let them in because people put that pressure on her. So anyway, you see it, you'll love it. I promise. So I'm going to pull this down. I see there's a lot of comments coming in. Okay, Lord, I can't see that. Let me see. Once Black America decided to have Meghan and Harry back. Oh yeah, that was. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go over here and take a look at that because I can see it better. But yeah, kind of a fun comment. They say, once Black America decided to have Meghan and Harry back, they quickly became the only members of the royal family many of us cared about. An invitation to the cookout takes a ton of effort and understanding, especially for white men. But Harry put in the work and is now part of the family. I love that. Harry has put in the work and now he's part of the family. So if you guys can see that, I'm sorry I put it up so high, but yeah, that's what it says. Okay, now I thought I saw. Oh yeah, Shelly L says Harry got home, but I did that one already. Thank you. Oh wait, did I? Yes. Thank you. Okay, so let me scroll. Oh my goodness, where are all these comments coming from? Was it something I said? Good heavens. I'm sorry, I won't be able to see most of these. Okay, Sugar Plum says, what about the rumor that the Sussexes are staying in France? Nonsense. We already know better. Let me see. Staying in France. Wait, let me see that again. Yeah, I don't believe that. But thank you for your comment. I don't think so. Harry does not have to be there for the opening court date. I think that's the difference is he does not have to be there. They have agreed on a timetable for the court appearances by all of the witnesses so that they don't all have to stick around. And I don't believe Harry is going to show up until June. I think that's like June the 9th, I think is his scheduled court date. Unless something has changed, that's the way I understood it was June. Because this case is going to go on for a long time. And then I think there's other cases that are overlapping. So that may be a factor. Okay. Patrick Jensen says, I'm so hurt by how people think it's okay to insult the memory of Diana by glorifying Camilla by saying, oh, no, that Petronella rat face, what's her name? She's the worst of them. She's the worst. Oh, and that I hate that that's happening too. But yeah, they have. The way they talk about Diana, it makes me cringe most days. The way people have been putting her down so that they can lift up that monster. Let me see. Days with Cece says, I'm glad they haven't posted no pictures from his birthday party. That way they cannot throw shade and say they're trying to take the king's spotlight. If I was them, I would wait until the next split. Yeah, that's a good idea. Wait until wait until it matters the most, right? Wait until it matters the most. Thank you for that. Vinny Blair says Harry's bodyguard must have been meeting him at Heathrow with his suit bag. There is a Windsor VIP lounge and and an airport VIP lounge where he could change. I believe at both ends, Vinny Blair, there is a Windsor lounge at Heathrow, and then there's a VIP lounge. Like I said, if you have the right credit card, if you have the right access, there is a place in LA at the airport where you could have that very Windsor lounge experience. You will look across and find that you and the one other person there is like, Madonna or Barbara Streisand or something. So that does exist. Thank you for your comment. Let me see. Okay. Boy, you guys are really charged up right now. Charlene Bates says the UK press can stand the idea that Harry and Meghan don't need them, nor the royal family. Yeah, it is. Oh, by the way, thank you so much for your super chat. It's like, I think it's like a cult, really, and I think that some of the key members of this sycophant cult that follows the royals. And even with that, you guys, what's so really sickening about this? If you're going to be in a cult, it seems like the person that you're uplifting, and I'm not talking about the average person on the street that may read these rags. I'm not accusing them of being in the cult. The cult is the courtiers, all of the media people. And what's really astounding is they don't have much respect for Charles. They really don't have much respect for him. Lord have mercy. Who is that on the balcony? That, I think William is 6'3", right? How is it that lady standing by the column on the right, do you see how tall she is? Good Lord, who is that? Is that one of Camilla's sisters that just pranced onto the balcony? I just noticed that. Both of her sisters are like they're tall. You see that? That's a very, very tall woman. It just kind of caught my eye just now. Oh, well. Carmen, what is that? Kapaye, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. And happy Sunday to you. Light Side of the Moon says, I love your history lessons, Baron. Comedy and history lesson in one place. Thank you, Light Side of the Moon. I enjoy sharing. And of course, if I can make someone smile along the way, win-win. Thank you very much. And thank you for the super chat. Yes, make it fun and yet informative is always my goal. I think it kind of takes the sting out of certain things. You know what I mean? Let me see. Oh, okay. Patrick Jensen says it would have been interesting to see how William would have behaved in all of this if Charles had four more kids and William was far down the succession ladder. I think part of William's problem is that he's at the top of that ladder. That's the problem, is that people have convinced him that he's brilliant. People have convinced him that he's worthy. People have convinced him that Harry is supposed to take guidance from him. The only person who doesn't see how implausible that scenario is William. He don't get it. He thinks that he's entitled to rule over Harry. People have convinced him that Harry is always going to be there to clean up your mess. And he doesn't have it anymore. The last time Harry cleaned up for him was when they unveiled that statue, and William decided that he didn't care what happened to the veil because somebody's going to take care of it. And who took care of it? Harry. Harry did. Okay. Let me see here. TRC Rugs, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for being here as always. Okay. The working, who said that? Gosh, it just moved as I was reading it. Let me see. But anyway, I think someone, even though it shifted so fast, I think someone said, oh, there we go. Baron, I thought only working royals would be on the balcony. Well, I think that was something that the press said, because it only makes sense that after a royal wedding that you have the bride, the groom, and you have everyone on the balcony. So that makes sense. And the idea that it would only be limited to working royals seems kind of silly now, because why would it be? Why would it be if you have a party of people like the ladies in waiting, her sister and whoever the other person is? I think both those are her sisters. Even though one of the sisters to me looked like Julia Childs. But even though you have all of them there, it wouldn't make sense for you to go out on the balcony without them. You got the page boys, right? They're in uniform. You take them out on the balcony. And of course, thanks to the line of succession and everything and working royals, I think that's right. I thought it was kind of sensible when they said, okay, working royals only. I'm like, okay, I get that. But the thing is, that really doesn't make sense when you look at that photo. Oh, now I see Prince Michael of Kent. I see him now. But that really doesn't make sense if they participate in the ceremony, that you would exclude them from the balcony. So, and we all know that this was Camilla's real big wedding, big fat Greek wedding to, well, not to bring the Greeks into it, but let's just say if this was a big fat Greek wedding, like the movie title, then this is Camilla's big fat Greek wedding. Not to disparage the Greeks, of course. But yeah, so this is really Camilla's wedding day to Charles, the one that they weren't really allowed to have before, where she wasn't allowed to wear white. Leslie F., you know she looks like Julia Childs. This is Julia Childs. Bon appetit. You know she looks like Julia Childs, don't she? They said Julia Childs was like 6'1". But yes, thank you, Andrew Bodie. Thank you for your comment. Okay, so you guys are really jumping in here, so I'm trying to see as much as I can. Because Harry had a plane to catch. And I think that Harry has a brand just like Meghan has a brand. And if there's any truth to the idea that it would tarnish their brand. See, it's not as though it's embarrassing for the royal family to have Harry and Meghan around. It would be embarrassing to them to be around that group of nasty, mean-spirited, cruel, reptilian, inbred, vertebrate, basement dwelling. It would be ruinous to their brand to be exposed to them, because there's some pretty shady characters up there, starting with the two in the middle. So why would you want to tarnish your brand by being around those colonizers? I say nay. That was a wise decision. Now, I'm not speaking for Meghan and saying that that's the reason why she's not there, but why hang around with those flightless reptilian birds if you don't have to? No, that's okay. We good. You know what I'm saying? And especially with all of the hurt that has been thrown, Harry would really be taking a big step backwards by stepping onto that balcony. He did everything right. Everything happened the way it was supposed to. Meghan stayed home. Harry joined the family at the Westminster Abbey, and he got out of there. Perfect. Okay, so here is. Uh, Let me see. What did I just do here last? Okay, so we did this, and I think those two go together, which is why I had those. So this is like a continuation. It's like a contrast of points of views, but really it reaches the same point. Um, this one says it's too white. This one says it shouldn't have been so white. Both of them are really saying the same thing, right? Okay, so Maureen Callahan, Maureen Callahan, who is no stranger to peroxide, she says Meghan and America could have been at the heart of this joyous spectacle, but the Duchess of Narcissism burned her bridges, and you could hear the glassware crashing in Montecito. Now, this is all fantasy. If this was a movie script, that would make sense. You know how in a movie, when there's something tragic that's about to happen, and someone has like dropped a cookie jar on the floor, or they broke a wine glass just at the same time that someone was being slaughtered. This is the type of imagery that she's conjuring up to try to demonstrate. I mean, this really takes a lot of imagination, a lot of imagination. This is for people that are absolutely gullible to read something like this. And yeah, I bet she was in Montecito, and I bet she cut her hand because she squeezed a coffee mug, and I bet she threw dog poo against the wall. I'm sure that there's so many scenarios. Oh, I bet she broke the bathroom mirror, and oh, I bet I'm sure it's like so many things that she supposedly have done because she couldn't be the center of attention at the coronation, right? The only problem with that is, if she had gone there, like I said, it would have definitely have tarnished her brand. And we all have a brand, okay? We all have a brand. We all have a face that we present to the public. So there's nothing wrong with saying brand, not as far as I'm concerned. So we all have our brand. And the royal family has been tarnished. You got Andrew, right? You got the principals, Charles and Camilla, the two adulterers that tormented, allegedly, Princess Diana and made their life hell. And then, of course, you have the Cambridges, who, of course, are being protected by the media to such an extent that it's kind of hard to break through, but we all have our suspicions. Again, I'm going to say it one more time. It would be to Meghan's detriment to be around these people. They have been exposed. They have been exposed. And not just because of a book, not just because of the Oprah interview. Everything that they're going through right now started when Charles brought Camilla into that household. That's where it started. That's where it started. But they're trying to gaslight people and use deflection. They're trying to, projection. So if you're calling Meghan a narcissist, who are you really talking about? Charles? William? Kate? Camilla? Who are you talking about? Because you're certainly not talking about Meghan. You're not talking about Meghan. See, a narcissist would fall over themselves to try to convince you that they're not that person that you say they are. A narcissist tries to buy their way into a situation with favors, with cash, whatever. They try to buy their way into it. So, of course, if Meghan was a narcissist, she would repeatedly try to do favors for the family to make sure that they don't see her in that light and that she could have access. That's what a narcissist do. But a person of character, a person who knows themselves, a person who listens to their inner voice walks away. And so they, up to the days of the coronation that come up, well, I hope they put them in the back so they don't pull a stunt. They're going to try to pull a stunt. What stunt is there to pull? It's just as I said last week. Harry's going to go. There is no safety issue. Nothing is going to happen. Didn't I just say it last week? I said the Met Police, if they get one thing right, if it's one thing they get right, and that is public safety, there is not going to be any incident that is going to happen at the coronation. I said that, and I meant it. Not as a compliment as much as that's just the way it is. They were not going to let anything go wrong. So much so that they arrested innocent people just so that there wasn't even the hint of commotion. So I didn't think anything was going to happen to him. I just didn't want him to go because I didn't like the way the press was mistreating him. And now, of course, they're trying to gaslight us into believing that there was this massive booing. Harry got booed. He wasn't booed. There was nobody to boo. There was nobody there. We didn't hear any cheers when they emerged from those carriages because there was nobody to cheer. Everybody was kept well away. So much of that area was closed down to the public that it was in, and plus Harry didn't even arrive from that direction. However he got there, people didn't see him until he got out the car. We know this because there was no photos. There's no photos of Harry en route to Westminster Abbey. He took care of every detail to make sure. We don't even know where he stayed. He took care of every detail. So there's no there. So yeah, this is, I read the article, as much of it as I could take, and it's all just a bunch of projection and innuendo. It's all a bunch of really just, and she's not the only one. This is the narrative for the next couple of days. So you guys take a deep breath, try not to let it get to you. Just ignore it because they don't have anything else. Harry's visit was so clean and so precision and so precise that they're forced to make up stuff. They're forced to make up stuff. I thought the best they had was Anne and that ostrich plume or whatever that was. But no. So now you could have had it all, Harry. You could have had it all. If only you had listened, Harry. He'll be 40 years old soon. This isn't somebody's child. What are you trying to teach him that you need to learn for yourself? Minnie Bowman, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Okay, let me see here. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm gonna have to just scoot through these because oh yes, Andrew, he was in a carriage or something, or he was coming. Yeah, I know Andrew at least I heard he got booed. I didn't hear it myself. I read that, but then they waited like all that time to say, oh, and Harry got booed too. Yeah, right. Okay, trigger alert. Remember I said she's not the only one. You could have had it all, Harry. Wait. You could have had it all, Harry. You could have had it all. Nana Akua criticizes Prince Harry's attack on the royal family and says she was proud to have been part of the coronation ceremony that would be placed in the history books. She even finished it. God save the king. That's what she said at the end. God save the king. Seriously, Nana. Is Nana like, is that Latin for mop? Is that what Nana means in Latin? Does it mean mop? Because I'm just getting this rag mop vibe right now. But yeah, she was. "Oh, you could have had it all, Harry. You could have had it all." Really, really, Nana. He thought so much of what he had, he walked away from it. He didn't get pushed out. He walked away from it. Harry said, and I quote, "I won't play their games. It's the same dark forces that cost my mother's life. And now they're trying to make history repeat. I won't play their games." I mean, I literally heard "You could have had it all, Harry. You could have had it all." Had all of what, girl? And just like someone else, and by the way, they both work at the same newspaper, the Daily Fail, just like Maureen Callahan, they list all these things that Harry supposedly is missing out on. Wait a minute. Ebony and ivory. Okay, never mind. Come together in perfect harmony, side by side on my piano keyboard. Oh Lord, why don't we? I just noticed that. Oh well. Anyway, I'm going to move on before I get in trouble. So, BBC viewers switch off minutes into Coronation concert over poor lineup. BBC viewers quick to complain moments into the Coronation concert, live from Windsor Castle as they slam the lineup, which includes the likes of Katy Perry, Lionel Richie, and more. Now, when you turn against Lionel Richie, you have reached a new low, because Lionel Richie is one of those people that everybody seems to like. It's kind of like having it in for, I don't know, Barry Manilow. You know what I'm saying? How do you have it in for Barry Manilow? Lionel Richie is very baby boomer friendly music, but therein lies the problem. I think that the people who were not familiar with the lineup were assuming that they were going to get something that would compare to, I don't know, the Platinum Jubilee concert, or perhaps the Diamond Jubilee concert, or perhaps the Princess Diana Memorial concert. And what did they get? What was that evening at the Pops? Wasn't that an orchestra, the Pops Orchestra, where they would play that popular music? Hence the name Pops. Yeah, what they got instead was something that would compare to the Lawrence Welk show. You got people who desperately were hoping to participate in the celebration from their living rooms, or continue that participation. And instead of getting like, a real modern, diverse type of lineup, they got something that reminds me of Lawrence Welk when I was growing up. So, oh well, you get what you pay for. Let me see. The Swirl Experience says, fought Twitter derangers last night. Controversy brewing. May claims to be white and noted it's on her resume. U.S. resumes don't note ethnicity, race, gender. Yeah, what they're referring to is that there are bios on the internet, biographies, bios on the internet, that people are listed, their profession and such, and you, as the subject, do not write those. You have nothing to do with that. And whoever edited those things, which in some cases anyone can edit them. Whoever edited those biographies listed her as Caucasian. That has nothing to do with Megan. Megan did not contribute to those biographies. Someone else did. And of course, it really serves the purpose of trying to humiliate Megan by screenshotting it and putting it online and such. But that has nothing to do with Megan. Those bios were generated by someone else. And there's got to be hundreds of those out there. Those biographies come with advertisements. You can barely see the information for all of the advertisements jumping up. So, yeah, thank you for taking the fight to them, the Swirl Experience. Thank you for being a warrior on those Twitter streets. We need more people like you, and I really appreciate it. So, on behalf of everybody here, thank you very much. We salute you, and thank you for the super chat. Let me see here. But yeah, the Derangers, they love to screenshot those bios, those resumes online, and they love to share those. Megan has said time and time again, there were parts that she went up for. She was too white for this and too black for that. And that is just something that some people in Hollywood have had to deal with, is that you are suitable for this and not suitable for that. And then when you get there, they say, oh, you know what? We decided we're going to go in a different direction. Megan grew up basically, I'm just going to say, the typical Valley girl. Not to say that she is a Valley girl, but that's kind of the vibe that she gives, is at Southern California. And I haven't mentioned this for a long time, but let me tell you something. When I was a kid and I went out to Disneyland in Anaheim, California, that was my first time in California. Obviously, I was a kid, and I was taken back by how many mixed race couples I saw, or should I say ethnically diverse couples. I had never seen so many, I guess, black men and white women, or black women and white men. I've never seen so much of that before in my life. And yet it seemed to be every place I looked. And I had this nervous feeling because I'm like, oh, what are people going to think? You know, because I'm a kid. I didn't see that at home. And so there are people that have grown up in these diverse families, in these blended families. And so I don't want Megan to honey child and all that kind of stuff to try to identify, and you know what I'm saying? Don't wake up one day and start talking like Jennifer Lewis. You know, Jennifer Lewis has a certain way that she talks to people, and Megan has her way. You know, not to single out Jennifer Lewis, but you know what I'm saying? Don't go out of your way to be something that you're not. That is how she grew up. That is her voice. I don't want her to change her voice or to change her dialect or attitude to suit another person. I've seen a lot of people do that, you know, and to some degree, we all do that. We have a different voice when we're around different people. But, you know, Megan is who she is, and I don't want her to change herself for anybody's sake. And she has always identified herself as being of mixed race. And that is her identity. And she has a right to her identity. You know, I hate when people try to take that away from a person. Just like Don Lemon said that thing about Kamala Harris identifying as mixed race, as Asian, as black, and of course, whatever else she got going on. But that's not for us to say. You know, if you don't like somebody saying it, you don't like it. But however a person wants to identify, I say stay out of it. Stay out of it. Let them be. And so here you have people doing resumes And they're assuming this and assuming that, and then she's getting criticized for it, something she has nothing to do with. You're always strongest when you're being yourself. Whoever you are, whatever you're doing, your strongest self is when you're being yourself and not being somebody else. Let me see. Sean says, did they have a diverse entertainment? So we have to apologize. They had the Muppets. They can't get any more diverse than that. Yeah, Sean, they did have a diverse. Okay. Did they have the Muppets? No, right? I don't know what they had. Are you saying that the wait a minute? Are you saying the Muppets? They had the Muppets. They got so desperate they had the Muppets. Is that what you're saying to me? Huh. Okay. You know what? I didn't see any of the lineup. I saw this and I was good with that. But okay, thank you, Sean. Okay, now you got me curious, and I'm gonna have to take a look, but I'm not gonna do it now because I'm like so far behind. Let me see. Joyce Scott says it's unfortunate how Megyn Kelly and Candace Owens are taking mean digs at Megyn. This is a well orchestrated smear campaign to defame and disgrace her. She's at home minding her own business. Yeah, yeah. But that's the only way they get clicks. That's the only way that they can get people to pay attention to them is by going after the most influential woman in the world. That only shows how influential Megyn is, that they need to hitch their wagon to her just to get people to pay attention to them. Let me see. Oh, wait, what is this? There's a new chat and sharing in the Guardian 5th podcast on the cost of the coronation, where they say Harry and Meghan are the most hardworking royals because they drive the stream entrance to yes, sheer hope. The only reason why I'm talking to you today, the only reason why I'm talking to anybody today is because I woke up early in the morning in the spring of 1981 because of all of this hype about a wedding between Lady Diana Spencer and that goofball. That is from which the well springs, is that I woke up to watch that wedding. If it wasn't for Diana Frances Spencer, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. That is how I was drawn to anything to do with the royal family. Other than that, didn't know, didn't care. That's the truth. Now, what brought me back to the institution after drifting away was Rachel Meghan Markle, right? And so, absent Meghan, what do they have? Nothing. Nothing. Because they don't even have Harry anymore. They don't even have Harry anymore because of the way they treated Meghan. So they don't have anything. This is the last gasp of a very genetically unsuperior, inferior life form called the royal family. This is the last gasp. This is the last drink at the what do they call it? The forgotten tavern or inn or whatever. The what do you call it? The place of last resort. This is it. They don't have anything else after this. It'd be interesting to see how they try to come up with something within 10 years that is necessary. Because it's going to take 10 years for Charles to have a jubilee, right? I think they'll try to do something with the Queen's ascension, with Charles's ascension or the Queen's death. They'll probably have a memorial for that. And that's going to be lackluster. So I don't know what they got. I'd be interested to see. Thank you so much. Midwife K says, yes, Miss Piggy and Kermit. What? Are they that desperate? They have booked Miss Piggy and Kermit the Frog? Wow, that's resourceful. Booking Miss Piggy and Kermit. Why didn't they have Waylon Flowers and Madam come? Oh well. Okay. Well, thank you so much for that. I, I'll probably catch it in the papers or online or whatever. But yeah, thank you so much. Well, talk about desperation. They have resurrected Kermit and Miss Piggy. Karen says, I believe the Duchess of Sussex should remain as herself. We can't change who we are as individuals. Be yourself. I believe that the prince loves her just the way she is herself. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I love about her is that she's true to herself. She's not trying to fit into anybody's idea of what she's supposed to be, because I think that's when people do that, that's when they sabotage themselves. And if you don't know yourself and you feel pressured to try to be someone else, and I saw this one comedian, I forget his name, but he's African American. He got them big bubble eyes or whatever, and he had said something about Megan like about a year and a half ago, maybe a year ago, asking where was she at and how she was trying to call upon Black Hollywood, but where was she at before she got in trouble? And I was like, you know absolutely nothing about Megan. Megan was working. That's what she was doing. Megan wasn't trying to ingratiate herself. Megan was like the most uncelebrity celebrity. There were so many places that Megan was able to go before she, I would say that the people in Canada were very protective of Megan, right? She had freedom there. I mean, people would recognize her and it was like, oh, hey, kind of like they do in New York. When you see a celebrity in New York, there's an unwritten policy that you don't make a big deal. You don't try to suffocate them. And you'll be amazed at how many people you see just walking down the street in New York. And it's like nobody's overreacting. So that's how she had lived, kind of like she was a celebrity in New York. And it wasn't until the tabloid media created this frenzy. That was a creation of the media. Megan didn't do that. The media created that. And then, of course, after that happens, you have people say, oh, she's so overexposed. She didn't do anything. She didn't do anything. That was something that was done to her. She did not overexpose herself. That is a media construct. And I even had a friend of mine who said that she needs to lay low. And I'm just like, you do understand that no one has seen Megan for 4 months. Where else do you want her to go? Now, the fact that you can get 44 stories in one day out of someone who hasn't been seen in about 100 days, that's not that person's fault. You ought to ask the question to the people writing the stories, what is there to talk about? But they'll find something, anything. It must be really creepy to be in your kitchen making a cup of tea, and then something pops up on your phone and it says what you're thinking or what you're feeling or what your intentions are. That has got to be surreal. I should live so long to experience somebody 5,000 miles away writing a story about what I'm thinking about so and so. You know what I'm saying? How could you? I mean, okay, let me move on. But thank you for your comment. You're doing this because of that. You're doing that because of this. Really? I didn't know that that's what I was doing. Thank you for writing that lengthy article about nothing. Otherwise, I would have never known that that thing that I wasn't doing was actually something I was doing until you wrote nothing about it. Thank you. Oh, good Lord. Okay. Karen continues here. Prince Harry protects her, and they dislike him for that. I believe that they should focus more on the good work that they're doing in our world. Their lives that the lives they touch. Yeah, absolutely. The lives they touch, that is very, very important because they are helping a lot of people. And if they just left them alone, if they just left them alone, that's why it was so hard to look at that I don't even want to say the name of it, but that thing that they had about the privacy, and they cannot have privacy not because they are putting themselves out there, because you can find 44 stories to write about a person that you haven't seen in 4 months. 44 stories in one day for a person you haven't seen in 120 days. You have to be really gifted to find so much to write about. Thank you. Let me see here. Oh, wait a minute. Did I just skip through past that? Oh, there we go. Shelley L says the only way Charles is going to make it to his Jubilee, oh, I'm afraid of this one. But let me continue, is to keep his eye on Will. And the other one on Kate, his eyes will be jacked up to the watching them. But at least he'll be alive. Well, you know what else? You got to figure out who this person is. That's the other thing. He has to try to figure out who that person is. Because until he figures out that person, then of course he's not safe. Right? We got to figure out who this guy is. There's somebody that is lurking around London, and I'm not sure if I see a sickle or not, but we got to figure out who that person is. But thank you, Shelly L. Oh man. Okay, so now there's this. Is it any coincidence that Jill Biden, First Lady of the United States, was seated so far back at the coronation that Jill Biden, who has expressed public support for the Sussexes, opted not to attend to snub the new king? Wait a minute. Opted not to attend to. Wait. Oh, that Joe Biden, okay, who has well, listen, this is stupid to keep this going, but let me just jump in it anyway. Harry. Okay, Beverly. I'm gonna try to see if I could zoom in and see. But yeah, whoever it was, they were definitely about to trip over their hair. So I think you were right about that. Okay. Whenever the president or the first lady travels, right, there is a armor-plated vehicle, right, that is usually kept very close to them, because if there was like some type of emergency, right, like let's say there was some pending disaster, the first thing the Secret Service would want is to get the president or the first lady or whoever they're protecting to that armor plated vehicle, not someone's basement. Now, they always have a secondary location, right? They have what they call a safe room, right? Now, I'm not saying that they necessarily have that for the first lady, but I do know that the president is always a safe room. There's always some place en route or within a location where they could take them to be safe. So strategically, I don't care how it looks, strategically, the best place for the First Lady of the United States, the partner of the most powerful person in the free world, is to be by the exit just in case. Okay? I'm sure she was well protected, and I'm sure that that was the most strategic location for her to be. And that's it. I don't care about where she sits. If that was an issue, I'm sure that in advance, the Secret Service knew exactly where the First Lady would be. Somebody signed off on it. And so Biden sat in the back when she went to the funeral. She sat in the back at this ghastly situation. I really don't care. I just want her to be safe. I'd rather she not gone, but I just want her to be safe. She did what she went there to do, and now it's over with. Well, not quite, because oh well, I'll show you later. But I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, she's there. There's limited seating. She's not supposed to sit up front with the family. She's there, all right? She's there. No big deal. Okay. Uh, so this poor lady right here with the Big Issue magazine. Remember that magazine that William was supposed to support when he went out there and stood right by a dental shop, right? I think there was a dental office, if I recall. William stood right by a dental office with them big yellow teeth of his, and was not inspired to make an appointment or anything, but he stood there with those magazines. And I remember when I saw the photo that someone had took, it was close to his birthday. I said, he's only going there because it's his birthday to try to make it look like he's doing something, and they will never see him again. And so far, I have been right about that. And I'm sure a lot of you guys came to the same conclusion. He's only there for the photo op, and then he's gone. And so this poor lady, I thought, as a matter of fact, that those magazines, they went out of business, but I guess not. But she's selling the Big Issue, and the idea is you give them $1 or whatever change you have, and they give you the magazine. And it's a way for people struggling with homelessness and hunger to feed and shelter themselves, right? And so you politely buy the magazine about stuff that's happening in the city, and you read it on the train or on the bus on the way to work. And then you leave it there for the next person to read, right? Very cool. So apparently, she must have thought that if they have all this set up for the coronation, surely there's going to be crowds of people, and I can sell this magazine. They have them in most big cities under various names. Trouble is, there's nobody there. There's no foot traffic. There's no one to patronize her location. And so it was a missed opportunity because there's not that many people that cared for the coronation. It's not a big deal. It was a big fat nothing burger. And as you can see it, there's this big screening that's happening on the streets, but nobody's there. Nobody cares. Nobody came. I'm sure people are watching it in pubs and stuff like that, but poor lady. And of course, there is the movie theaters. Now, you would say to yourself, well, Baron, of course nobody's there. It's outside. It's drizzling. Why would they be in the rain? Well, why don't they retreat to a cinema, to a movie theater where they could watch it in a nice air-conditioned, dry space, someplace where they will watch it on the big screen in the company of other royalists and curious people? Well, look at that. It's empty. Do you see that? Empty. There's nothing there. There's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people? 7? 7 people? Wow. Okay. Well, so they're at some theater and there's 7 people there. So I guess it wasn't the weather. And then if you take a look there, plenty of cake at the village hall. Don't let the coronation aspect of it put you off. You don't have to watch it. We shut at 3, so come and grab your free slice. Well, I think there's one thing that's empty. Well, let me see. maybe more than one. But yeah, nobody showed up there either. So there you go. It but they say they got 20 million views. I doubt it, but that's what they say. King Charles complained, "We can never, oh God, Camilla, we can never be on time." So a lip reader said that Charles was having a hissy fit because they were still sitting there at Buckingham Palace, and who knows how long they waited inside. But apparently, the Cambridges were running late.
But they're having a bit of discussion here. I'm wondering whether Prince and Princess of Wales' arms, they're due to arrive.
You would have thought that somebody had handed him an exploding pen, right? It's like the exploding pen all over again. But no, this was because the Cambridges were running late. They were doing a video, Will and Kate. They were making a video that they could put on social media of them leaving to go to the coronation. And they probably had to do several takes, especially if there was a speaking part of the video for Kate. You know, they had to do several takes. Yeah, they had to do several takes. Now, as you know, occasionally here at Royal Sussex, oh man, wait, where is it? Uh, Now, usually right there. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh Lord, it's not there. Okay, wait. Let me do this. Okay. Occasionally here at Royal Sussex, just to make sure that we're fair and accurate, we like to reach out to people for their for their thoughts or whatever. So anyway, we reached out to Kensington Palace to hear Kate's side of the story.
Obviously, it'd be. I would love to have met her, and she's an inspirational woman to look up to. Obviously, to this day, and going forward and things. It's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot, and very inspirational. So yeah, I do.
Okay. Thank you. Whatever you just said. So, but yeah, it was Will and Kate that kept them waiting, and Charles was furious. And of course, you guys, I hate to be hypercritical, and you all already know that I'm a nice person and I don't like to pick on anyone. Even the appearance of me being cruel is enough to, it's embarrassing for me. But let me just say this. Back in the 70s, Playtex came up with a product called the 18-hour bra. And seeing that this was about 11 o'clock in the morning, Greenwich time or whatever, you should have had more time left. So maybe they don't have the 18-hour, maybe they got the 4-hour or the 5-hour. But whatever it is, I'm just saying they do have devices, they do have products that can lift and separate. Remember that. Lift and separate. Just pretend like you're on a roller coaster. Lift and separate. You're on a trampoline. Lift and separate. Now, the goal is to keep them up and out, right? You're not supposed to tuck them into your waistband, right? You're not supposed to use them as an armrest. You're supposed to lift and separate. So I'm just saying for the next coronation or, for the next event, when you expect someone to fulfill the obligations of their station. In other words, one is supposed to be graceful and ladylike, glide, and you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to, there's a way that a royal is supposed to enter a room. You're not supposed to walk in there looking like the evolution of man, right? You know how those evolution charts, they show how man has evolved into the Homo sapiens that we are. But instead of that, you have this, which seems like evolution stopped somewhere at the middle point. That's not a good thing. So I really do believe that, I mean, listen, Jane Russell, God rest her soul, Jane Russell had the right idea. You know what I'm saying? Thanks to Howard Hughes, Jane Russell was able to create a certain silhouette that is still appealing today. That's all I'm saying. And when you're at a formal occasion, you want to be more Jane Russell, right? Not Nipsey Hussle, James Russell. Jane. You don't want to be Nipsey Hussle. You want to be Jane Russell. That's it. So no criticism, no shade, but 18 hours. Well, at least they got the Spanx part right. At least they had enough sense to wear some Spanx. Oh, well, I'm just trying to be helpful, you guys. I'm just trying to be helpful. All right. And with that, let me move on. So here is a HD image of Charles. I did not realize the complexity of his appearance that day. Looks like he's wearing some blush, some cherry lip gloss, cherry lip gloss, no eyeliner, but yeah, looks like he's wearing some cherry lip gloss and some MAC cosmetics. Yeah, that looks like MAC, and some blush. Yeah, but other than that, he looks like the picture of health. Yeah, he looks like the picture of health. But this is like the first real HD image of Charles that I have come across. And let me tell you something, it is quite a sight. Oh, well. Okay, so that's it. Now I'm being shady. And then there's this. So at that, oh, did I do that one? Wait, let me see. Did I do that? Now I'm starting to doubt myself. Did I or did I not? Let me see if I have it. Maybe not. Or did I forget to send it to myself? Well, anyway, okay. So there's that one. Oh, maybe I didn't do it. Let me see. Oh, you know what? I certainly didn't. So I'm going to do it really fast, just like I did before, because I'm sure most people did not see it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I'm still here, you guys. I haven't gone anywhere. All right, so there you go. Anyway, so this is Charles, of course, in the coronation chair. And then you can see the banner, the King. This is that Liverpool game that you heard about. Whoever player number 7 is, that's who they call the King. I don't know anything about Liverpool. Of course, I don't know that much about American football. So, of course, I don't know so much about, football. So, soccer football. But anyway, whoever number 7, oh, KDV, 3 months. Baron, I don't know if you pick up on those 2 boys that are holding on to Camilla's dress. Wait. Okay, so see, this is not on the other screen, so I'm lucky that I saw this. Dress at the back. She's copying Megan to. Wait a minute. Let me see. Let me see what you're talking about here. Okay. Dress at the back. She's copying Megan to this family is sick. Which person is that? I didn't see anyone. Let me see. I don't know who that. God, look at the size of her shoe. Look at Camilla's sister's shoe. Look at the size of that shoe. That has got to be like a woman's 14. Do you see that? That looks like a weapon. That looks like a Scud missile. Good Lord. She's tall, isn't she? Wow. Okay. Do you guys see that shoe? It is massive and it's flat. That is a flat shoe. Well, they probably don't make stilettos in that size. But KDV, no, I didn't notice that. But thank you so much for your 3 months membership. Thank you very much for that. Oh, you guys, I got to stop being shady. I'm throwing shade every which direction. And, I'm trying to bring people together. I'm just trying to bring people together. My goal is to bring people together, not to separate or divide, but to bring us together in the name of the new monarch. I know that didn't even sound convincing to me. Okay. So I am going to send this to myself. There we go. All right, one and done. Oh boy, these fast edits I'm doing, I'm impressing myself right now. Must be something in the coffee. Lorna Williams has a super chat. Camilla says, I got the man, so I can let it. I got the man, so I can let it hang. That should be on a monument somewhere, like a monument to Camilla. I've got the man, so. Oh man! Oh, thank you so much for your super chat. Oh, you guys, we are drifting into a weird area right now. Please don't put us, what you call it. I don't speak for all of the Sussex squad. I'm just my own shady self. So please don't blame everybody for my shade. I'm just releasing a little tension over a very contentious weekend. So there you go. So right there, the only one, I don't know who the player is. You guys know the name of the player? But anyway, I think he's number 7. And so that's who they're celebrating in Liverpool. Speaking of Liverpool, since I have it ready, let me show you. Now, it's kind of hard to hear it, but they said, so they booed all the way through God Save the King. Yes, they booed all the way through God Save the King. And of course, along with the booing, there was more signage like this one. Scratch, 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 not my king. And then, of course, there's this one. You can stick your royal family up your backside. But yeah, so that was the warmth that was felt at a game that was not canceled because of the coronation. Again, that was the warmth, the collective warmth that was displayed. Actually, there was some people there that was there to celebrate the coronation, at least 2 or 3 people. Um, and according to authorities, one of those individuals suffered a slight hairline fracture of the skull. I'm just kidding. There was no violence. But yeah, so there you go. Let's see. Robin Dennis says Charles is insecure and Diana always showed him up at events. He couldn't handle that. Camilla doesn't steal the attention. Wait a minute. Hold on. I think you're being unfair. What would make you think that Camilla does not have the amount of appeal to take? Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. You're right about that. Never mind. Never mind. You're right about that. I stand corrected. Thank you, Robin Dennis. I for a second there, I forgot. Okay, thank you. Oh, thank you, Connie Balmer. Thank you. It's my favorite part of the day, I can assure you. Let's see. Okay. The Elaine Parker says, did you know the Dunn newspaper is not sold anywhere in Liverpool? Really? What the Dunn? Oh, the Sun newspaper. Is that right? I didn't know that. You guys, I really loved Liverpool. If you get a chance to go there, there is a walking tour about the history of the slave trade and how it benefited the city of Liverpool that I took myself with a historian there. And it was awesome. So if you get a chance to do that, I could always share some more information about that if you like. But it was awesome. When you go to the UK, get outside of London. You could take a train here, there, and everywhere. Their trains are expensive, so buy your tickets in advance. When you travel to Europe, if you think you're going to take a train or a plane for that matter, always buy your tickets in advance. You can buy an open ticket and use it whenever you're ready to go on a train. And you can go from the center of the city in one town to the next and don't have to deal with airports and all of that heightened security and stuff like that. Some of the high-speed trains, you could actually get there quicker on the train than you could with the airport experience. So just something to think about. But thank you so much, Elaine Parker. I did not realize that. But that's probably good for everybody involved. They have an amazing cathedral there, too. They have the Catholic cathedral and they have the Protestant cathedral. Both are very, very different and very, very cool. Okay, let me see here. So right here, Dr. Scholler chimed in. We paid £250 million and y'all left poor. And y'all left poor with no life, no better. Is that right? Y'all left poor. Okay. Peasant mentality held as British value, a spectacle of stolen wealth. You beg for crumbs while Charles reigns in tradition that put you in a chokehold. This looks this look says they really think we did this for them. And so she's speaking about the paper, of course. So it says, the look that says, darling, it was triumph. Darling, it was a triumph. That is the look right there. Instead of a look saying, I told you we could fool them. I told you they'll believe us. Or, throw in whatever you want. So anyway, there is Charles wearing something that looks like it's at a costume shop. And there's Camilla looking like she's wearing the cover of a duvet. That does look like a duvet cover, doesn't it? When I look at her, I just think duvet. And all that fuss about Charles not wearing those pedal pushers, Remember the knickers with the stockings? Well, I think he may as well have just worn that, because that purple shirt that he's wearing, I guess it's a tunic, right? That purple tunic, that looks so costume shop to me. And I'm sure it's made of the finest possible. And you know what else? Those tassels, they should have downsized those tassels. Those tassels look like they come from the Jurassic period. They're just huge. You know what I'm saying? That look like one of those things that you yank when you want to summon the servants. That's what that looks like. It looks like you're in your saloon, in your parlor, and you want another gin and tonic, and so you go over by the fireplace and you yank on that cord, and then somebody suddenly appears. That's what that looks like. It really does look cheap. It looks, I guess, because we've never seen this in HD quality photos, right? We've never seen this like live on television. We mostly have seen grainy black and white footage, right? When the Queen went through her coronation, they had to fly film to the United States and other parts of their uh, dwindling colonies or Commonwealth. They had to fly the films to the individual countries so that other people could see it. So when you saw it, if you were in New York, you may have seen it within hours. If you were in other places, you may have seen it within a day or days, right? In Canada, you may have seen it within hours, but they had to. Now, remember, this is 1953 when the Queen had her coronation, right? So 1953, they did not have commercial jets, right? You couldn't just send it. They had to use military jets to distribute the film from the coronation, right? So, and what you saw was grainy black and white images, nothing as bright and conspicuous as this. So if Charles wanted to downplay his outfit, he should have got rid of those tassels. It looks okay, you guys. I'm not being funny when I say this, but doesn't this remind you of one of those pimp outfits that you see at the costume shop? You know, with the big fedora, with the big fur fedora and the purple and gold suit. This looks like a pimp outfit. I mean, I look at it and the first thing that comes to mind is pimp. When I look at that, the first thing I think is, it's getting hot out here for a pimp. I think pimp. Now, Charles is not a pimp. I'm not saying that there's anything that's about him that's being a pimp, but I'm just saying the outfit reminds me of one of those pimp outfits from a costume shop. And if you don't believe me, Google that right now. Google pimp costume and see what comes up. Do it. Google pimp costume and see what comes up. I should have had it up here already, but I didn't. But let me see. Pimp costume. Yeah, purple. I see purple. I see leopard skin print. Big chains. Pimp. You got to say it like Nell Carter. Pimp. Yeah, hold your nose and wait a minute. Let me stop because somebody might be watching with their kids. I don't want your kids walking around yelling pimp all day. So let me stop. But that's what he looks like. He looks like somebody from an old episode of Beretta. I think I saw this costume on an episode of Beretta. Let me see. Ginger Lily says, Baron, the Washington Post described the coronation this way. A Versace fashion show staged in an assisted living facility. Oh my God. I love it. A Versace fashion show staged in an assisted living facility. And we all know, we all know that there's usually that very institutional smell that goes with it. I bet that whole place smelled like Bengay and deep heat and mothballs. I bet you that whole place smelled like Bengay and mothball and deep heat and Aspercream and all that other stuff. Oh man. Thank you so much, Ginger Lily. I did not see that, but that is hilarious. I love it. So, you guys, I was struggling with whether or not I wanted to share this. And then, even worse, I did not want to produce any slides because that could be kind of dangerous. But I didn't even like make a video for it or anything. But David Starkey, I'm gonna share this with you. It's actually pretty tasteless, but then at the same time, I kind of got a little tickle out of it. So I'm gonna play it, and if it's hard to follow, I will explain it. But Lord, I'm still not sure. But let me just go out on a limb and do this. David Starkey has been getting in trouble lately because of his mouth, and he has been very critical of Charles III. And so he was trying to describe how Charles had gone so terribly wrong by planning the coronation. And anyway, I'll let you hear it for yourself. And then, just in case.
What Charles has done is to destroy the theatre and the purpose. So the two things of
let me start this over. Now listen carefully, because it is a bit disparaging to someone in particular, but I'll let you listen yourself.
What Charles has done is to destroy the theatre and the purpose. So the two things have gone badly wrong, and they're both fundamental. He said, right, we're not going to have members of the House of Lords. If you think I'm so ancient, I remember the last coronation. And if you remember the last coronation, the House of Lords, they're a bit like the chorus in an opera. They're all there in scarlet and white. They're this magnificent backdrop to the theatre. Now what you're going to have is an abbey filled with Ngozi Fulani. And you're going to have a wallpaper of leopard skin print, rather like bar stools in Las Vegas. I mean, the total visual chaos, you'll destroy that. But there's something else. The king...
Did you guys get that? He said that, okay, so maybe I'll let you listen to it again. I'll let you listen to it again just in case there's any confusion.
Modernize it too.
I think that what Charles has done is to destroy the theatre and the purpose. So the two things have gone badly wrong, and they're both fundamental. He said, right, we're not going to have members of the House of Lords. If you think I'm so ancient, I remember the last coronation. And if you remember the last coronation, the House of Lords, they're a bit like the chorus in an opera. They're all there in scarlet and white. They're this magnificent backdrop to the theatre. Now what you're going to have is an abbey filled with Ngozi Fulani. And you're going to have a wallpaper of leopard skin print, rather like bar stools in Las Vegas. I mean, the total visual chaos, you'll destroy that. But there's something else. The king has not explained ever.
visual chaos, the visual chaos. You're gonna have Abbey filled with no with no. Oh Lord, y'all. He is a very pompous, arrogant little twerp. And all I can picture is him up all night, gnashing his teeth, envisioning the Westminster Abbey filled with nothing but people of color. I think that's what he was trying to say. And visual chaos. Oh, Lord. Oh. Oh. I thought that was a rather tasteless imagery that he conjured up. But at the same time, I mean, it's not it's not every day that you hear somebody compared to a Las Vegas bar stool. Oh, Lord have mercy. If I was Nagazi, I'd talk to my lawyer. I would talk to my lawyer because he went there. He went there. I have listened to it several times, and I have to say, I think it's insulting to Nagazi, and it also harkens overtones of racism to assume that. I don't know. It just, I don't like the idea that he's trying to say that what do you call it? That it's going to be the hall will be filled with, because it conjures up racial imagery. It's as though he's trying to say to the public that Charles is bringing too many black people around, when the truth is the representation was very obvious and conspicuous, but as soon as they got to the balcony, the true intentions of the future of that family was very clear, because the only person of color that was available to attend the coronation that happened to be a family member was alienated by the mistreatment from the family and from the tabloid media, which I believe is really one and the same. But let me see. Mary Seco says, I have stopped watching documentaries narrated by this racist piece of trash. A long time ago, David Starkey is a typical Brit. It is a very posh put down. If for sure, it was a very posh put down. And it's not the only time. This is something that he has done frequently. There's one video where he used his very erudite tone to recite rap lyrics. He has accused people of color of degrading British society, which, of course, like I say, I've been to Britain and I've seen plenty of people that were not trying to act like they were somebody else. They were just being them true selves. And they were some of the, I'll just say some of the the only time that I had ever truly been nervous around white people was my first time in Britain. I got on the tube, and there was a family who had open alcohol beverages on the train, and something told me just don't talk, because I didn't want them to know that I wasn't from there. But it seemed like the kind of family that would like pile up on you in a heartbeat. Although they, someone offered me a drink of beer, um, and they were very nice. But until that moment, I was actually nervous. I've never met any white people in my life that scared me as much as this group because they looked very dodgy. And I'm usually not nervous around anybody, but they look very, very dodgy. So the idea that, Britain was this wonderful oasis of culture until people started coming from different places of the empire is a big lie. Uh, but Las Vegas Barstool, he went there. How do you compare somebody to a Las Vegas Barstool? I have to tell you, it was in very bad taste. But I guess the tone that he used, and the way that he insults people is kind of humorous to me. Let me see. Pam Porter said David Starkey is definitely not with diversity and inclusion crowd. Modern Britain is multicultural, multi ethnic, a religiously diverse population. Well, you know what, Pam Porter, he concealed his sexuality for a long time. He didn't want people to know his true sexuality because he was afraid he would be ostracized by the very people that he's looking up to, the very people that he is putting on a pedestal. Those are the people that he thought would isolate and alienate him because of his sexuality. He has only just come out, so to speak, in the past, 10 years? I think it's been maybe about 10 years. But before that, he pretty much was hiding in plain sight with his sexuality. Let me see here. I just looked on the royal family website, and they knocked Prince Harry's and the Duchess of Sussex profiles down to 12th, from 12th to 13th today, only one above Andrew. Oh my God, really? I never look at that, but okay. What kind of person visualizes Westminster Abbey filled with why Ngozi Fulani? That's what I want to know. Why her? He could have mentioned anybody else. Did he mention Floella Benjamin? Nope. Did he mention what's his name? Idris Elba? No. He went straight for Ngozi. Yeah. I wonder why. Let me see here. Let me see. Just started following the Sussex channel. I want all the smoke. Really? What Sussex channel? There's a Sussex channel? I've never heard of a Sussex channel. Let me see. Dara Edgehill. The sad thing is that they think dropping them down makes them look bad. Charles doesn't understand that makes him look bad, not them. Yeah, I don't think he cares, though. I don't think he really cares. He doesn't care about that. Okay, let's move on. I did that already, right? Okay. Oh, yes. The super fan. This was on the 5th of May. He actually had a chance to shake hands with Charles. Now, the thing is, everybody in the royal family knows this guy. He's a known commodity. He's at most events. If they're going to do a walkabout and there's any type of information out there, he will be there. So they know him. So it's no surprise that I think it's John Laurie. There's no surprise that they went directly to his encampment. And then right here, I don't know what was supposed to be so funny, but I tell you what, I have just had a visualization of Charles being constipated. For some reason, this This tells me everything I've ever had to know about Charles and constipation. Okay, not my king, and of course, no, nothing better than my king. So this person, this is like an illustration pointing out how the police, of course, have been harassing the Republic movement. And so instead of not my king, it's, I guess she's supposed to have noticed the police and got nervous and quickly wrote on there in lipstick, nothing better than my king. That is kind of cute. I like that. That's fun. Okay. And then there's this. I don't know if I showed this yesterday or not. This is, I think this is in a gay bar. I think it's a gay bar. It's a LGBTQ bar. And you can see the posters on the wall back there. So you don't see that in the typical men's room unless you're in a gay bar. And so, obviously, someone had took a cardboard cutout that was in the bar and threw it in the urinal to invite people to, you know, use the urinal. Okay, moving on. And of course, you know how they have those reenactments of the Civil War? Well, something tells me that on the weekend, Princess Anne reenacts the Napoleonic War. I don't know. I'm just saying. I think on the weekend, Princess Anne is one of those war reenactments, those historic battles. Something tells me she reenacts the Napoleonic War. And of course, this cartoon character, I don't know the name of this character, but this was making the rounds on the interweb. And of course, I believe that's the Simpsons character. And of course, yeah, she does kind of have a striking resemblance to the cartoon character. And this is poor Graham Smith. Graham Smith, the leader of the Republic movement, he was actually jailed most of the day, and then they released him after the festivities ended. And he told the press, he said, we do not have the energy to make any more trouble this weekend. So that's the end of that. I don't know if this Republic movement is going to continue the way that it has. And at the very least, I don't know if it's going to be through the same organization. I'm sure they're not going anywhere, but they had been planning for a long time to make their voices heard legally, make their voices heard on Coronation Day, whenever Coronation Day happened. And apparently the planning was 6 months in advance. Now, this is the reason why I'm told that they were arrested. If you guys remember from yesterday, those trucks had signage inside the trucks, right? And the signs were bound together with some type of zip ties or string or whatever it was. And so the police used that as the excuse to arrest them under the guise of the, like, you know, those movements where people tie themselves to a building, or, you know what I'm saying? Well, they tried to say that the peaceful protesters were going to tie themselves up to some type of infrastructure to block traffic, when, of course, that is not one of the tenets of that movement, is obstructing the public. They don't do that. They hold up their signs, they have their loudspeakers and such, but they do not interfere with people's movements. But they were using that as the excuse to arrest them because of the whatever they had that was binding the signs together. Here, I'm going to show you right now. Take a look at that. So you see that? Whatever was used to bind those signs together, aside from the plastic, they found some string or rope or something like that. And they said that they were going to tie themselves to the lamppost or the mailbox or something like that. But it was a big lie. But that was the excuse that they used, is that they were going to try to tie themselves up or chain themselves in some kind of way. And it was a trumped up charge that had no basis in reality, but it didn't matter. The whole point was to stop them. And that's what they did. So Graham Smith said that that's the end of it. They don't have any other events in the foreseeable future. This was supposed to be the big rally. Everything that they've done since the Queen died was meant to reach its zenith at the coronation, and they took that away from them. So it was intentional. They had planned for 6 months. The police had actually been involved with the planning to make sure that they were in a designated area and to make sure that that it was all sanctioned. And when they passed that law, the whole point of it was to stop them. And so that's what they did. So it was really, I hope that that's not the end of it. What they did, what the police did was disgusting. And I hate, actually not the police, but whoever gave the orders to stop them, that was shameful. And of course, there was a couple people with the Meghan signs. I'm surprised that there hasn't been more heat about that. But because, they try to blame Meghan and Harry for the Republic movement. And of course, Egg Boy. I should come up with a different name for him. That's kind of mean to say that. But I call him Egg Boy. Egg Boy, of course, was arrested. This was the egg splatter heard round the world when he threw that egg at Charles. That was his way of protesting, nobody else's, but it didn't matter. Let me see. I think this is it.
I've been arrested just for being here.
I like that. The egginator. Yeah, how come it wasn't an abbey filled with egg throwers, huh? How come it couldn't have been an abbey filled with egg throwers? Why did it have to be Ngozi? So the other thing that happened yesterday is there was the thousands go hungry, and we have to pay for a rich man in another country to put a crown of jewels on his head. Neiman Marcus. So that, of course, was in Wales. Now, they consider Scotland and Wales as a separate country from England. Just like here in the United States, we don't usually think of it that way, but these are supposed to be independent states, like the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. These are independent states that are united under one constitution. And of course, the United Kingdom are three separate kingdoms united under that's how it's seen. So, and of course, people in Scotland and Wales, they, certain places, people are not really comfortable with seeing the Union Jack. They'd rather not. A lot of places, they'd rather not. I'll just say that. They'd rather not. And of course, Scotland had a big rally yesterday. So all of these were planned in advance. But the only place where I know that the police actually conducted themselves like jackbooted thugs was with the Republic people, thanks to that new law that they passed. So, yellow t-shirt guy, wherever you are, I hope you were not rounded up when they were arresting people. But anyway, I guess that's the end of the road for yellow t-shirt guy. Oh my God, have I been on for almost 3 hours? It didn't even seem like it. Something tickled you, Kate. Princess of Wales is spotted smothering. Is it smothering a giggle? Smothering? Why would they say smothering? Smothering a giggle. Oh, does that mean she was trying not to laugh? In the Abbey after choir performance at the King's coronation. Well, I shouldn't be surprised because didn't they laugh when Bishop Curry was preaching at the wedding of Harry and Meghan? So I shouldn't be surprised by that. I mean, the performers, you could see the top of their heads right there, right? So that means that they were performing, and the royal family seems to find something amusing. Am I missing something with that? They seem to find something amusing. Let me see. There's his head. There's the high top fade. So 1, 2, 3. So yeah, those are the guys right there. So they must have found something amusing. I don't know. I don't know what was so funny. I thought they did a great job, but Kate seems to be rather amused by the whole thing. William has a smirk on his face, but then again, it wouldn't be William if he didn't. I don't know. Now, take a look at this picture. This is the Troop in the Colors 2018. You can see Harry and Meghan center behind Charles and the Queen and Kate, right? And this is like the whole clan, no pun intended, out on the balcony. And then, of course, there's this. Now, you have Will and Kate and Charlotte and Louis and who else? You got Ford Escape. You have the Wessex children. Let me see. You got Uncle Pennywise is on the end. What's her name is hiding back there. All you can see is her plume. And, the veteran of the Napoleonic War. And her husband is the guy with the captain hat on, right? Right. So let's go to the other side of William. There is Rose Hansberry's child. And then there's George and the other 2 pages. So, first of all, in this dynastic photo, you would expect William and Kate to be in the center. I mean, you're the next generation. Why is everybody crammed on one end like they're trying to avoid Camilla and Camilla's family? Except for the far opposite end, you can see Princess Alexandra, the Duke of Kent, the Duke of Gloucester, and his old lady. All of them are there, right? The 4 of them. There's so much more room on the opposite side of the balcony. So why in the world are you all crammed in over there? Now, some people, Denise Dublin, I didn't say it. I did not say that. Now, just for the record, I didn't say that, but I was going to go to another photo so that you might have a chance to say it yourself, but you already done it, so that's fine. But I'm just saying, it just seems rather odd that everybody. Oh, and you see that red plume between Ford Fiesta or Escape And Kate, that's Anne. Anne decided she didn't want to be up front. She probably didn't even want to be out there. She could have gone to the other end, her and her husband. They could have gone down there with the Duke of Kent and the Duke of Gloucester, but they decided not to. And maybe one of the reasons why they didn't go down there is because look at the size of Anne's husband, look at the size of William, and look at Camilla's sister. Good God, that gigantic woman. She's huge. So maybe that's why they're standing down there, is because they were afraid to get too close to her. I don't know. But I just thought that was rather strange that everybody's bunched up on the end like that instead of, they could have stood behind the Page boys. They could have stood between the Page boys. They're all crammed in one corner like they don't want to be that close to Camilla and Charles. And then right here, you could see William's eldest son is actually not even standing next to him. I don't know why, but for some reason, William's son that we're aware of is not standing next to him that we're aware of. That son of his that we know of out of his two sons just happens to be one away for whatever reason. That's all. I have nothing else to add to that. But let me say this. It's not lost on me that third page that you see in that top photo has that look on his face like, I know that's purely coincidental, but why has that kid got that look on his face like, da 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 da. So I'm just saying, that's all I have to say about that. Now, I'm wondering if Camilla, does Camilla have two sisters or one sister? But I'm trying to figure out if Camilla and her sister entered a Penny Marshall lookalike contest years ago. And ever since that contest, they just decided, you know what? I rather fancy this hair and I'm going to stick with it. They look like they escaped from a Penny Marshall lookalike contest. They really do. They are giving me Penny Marshall. That's all. I'm just saying, I'm sure that's not the case, but they just kind of look like they participated in a Penny Marshall lookalike contest. Oh, there it is. So there is Princess Diana with Hillary Rodham Clinton. And anyway, I love the power suits they're wearing. I just came across that picture by chance, whoever posted that on Twitter. And then, of course, this is Jill Biden having lunch with Rishi Sunak. Now, I know that Joe Biden doesn't think very much of Rishi Sunak, but is Rishi Sunak trying to charm Jill Biden into a trade deal? He does know that Dr. Jill Biden doesn't have anything to do with a trade deal, but it seems as though he's trying to woo her with a street party in front of number 10 so that they might iron out some type of trade deal for the U.S. and the United Kingdom. I don't know. But anyway, I think he needs to talk to the big guy. And Joe Biden doesn't seem to much care for him. So there you go. Tacky is as tacky does. And of course, they have referred to Harry as the petulant prince because the requirement for the I almost said funeral, the requirement for the coronation is that you're supposed to wear something from an English designer. Well, that's not really keeping it in the family. The Sussexes wear Dior. Princess Diana loved to wear her Dior. And so, oh, is that why they posted that? It must be a Dior suit she has on. That's probably why they posted that today. Anyway, so Princess Diana fancies her Dior. And because she wears the Dior collection, maybe that's why, maybe not. But anyway, I think that that is lovely. If Harry was trying to pay homage to his mother and to make sure that he can have her presence at the coronation, that should not have, been with that other person, then I think that's a good idea. That if that makes him feel better, it makes me feel better. And lastly, there's this. As you know, they have the artificial intelligence created images, and this is another one of those. Now, some of them are more realistic than others, but I think this one looks flawless, absolutely flawless. I love it. It's gotten everything right. I mean, of course, those outfits don't exist, but still, it's beautiful. So yeah. And with that, you guys, I am done. Almost 3 hours later. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for your generous contributions. And no matter what I've ever said or done that may have been offensive, please don't ever refer to me as something of a Las Vegas bar stool. I deserve better than that. Nugazi deserves better than that. So yes, please never compare me to a Las Vegas bar stool. Let me see. And so with that, you guys, go ahead and throw your last comments in there. And also thank you, moderators, for keeping this a safe space. Gosh, I didn't know we were going to go 3 hours today, but here we are. And thank you all for your comments. The comments today were exceptional, I believe. So I'm very grateful for that. Also, what else? I'm sure I will see you guys tomorrow. And let me see here. Thank you, Shelly L. Now, see, I got a feeling that Shelly L was thinking Las Vegas Barstool. And when I said that, it seems like Shelly L has gotten a little embarrassed because I must have been reading your mind. So you do think of me as the Las Vegas Barstool. Oh, man. Racism is so casual with some people, isn't it? And David Starkey is casually racist. He doesn't have to think about it. It doesn't take a lot of concentration. But then again, he is an old queen, and can't nobody read like an old queen. So Queen Davida Starkey. That's it. Queen Davida Starkey. That's what I'm going to call him, Davida Starkey. Because just like an old queen, she know how to read people. Let me see, Baron. I'm sorry, let me highlight that. Beverly says, Baron, thank you for the laughs. Squad, be safe, hydrate, have a blessed week, and no bad energy. I think that's a good last word for the day. I think that's perfect. Okay, so what she said. Thank you very much, Beverly. And that will be our last word for today. And as always, the People's Princess, our Queen of Hearts, we didn't forget about you this weekend. And Doria, I hope that you all had a fun party for our Prince Archie, And I'm going to take a look to see what the total is for Kaboom right now. Let me see here. Oh man, I got kind of tired now. I wonder if it's supposed to rain. I just had that wave of fatigue come over me. Okay, Kaboom. Where are we at with Kaboom? $68,263. Thank you, everyone, for your participation. Okay. Lovely. Okay. Good night, Benny Blair, Bromil Morrison. Oh, thank you, Miss Viv, for doing that. Shelly L. Good night. Karen, Pam Porter, Joy Amore, Panther 325, Lorna Williams, Maggie Howe, Myra V, Deborah Robinson, Jennifer Smith, Takoya Woods, Lady Bird, Andrew Bodie. Good night, everybody. This has been lovely. I think it's a nice way to handle the post coronation. Just hanging out, good information, I hope, good laughs, everything else. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow. And with that, I am going to cue the Ginger Avenger. And love you guys. I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here.
For the culture. For the culture.
Now, you know, the aunties have to show up and show out. So the aunties, I do believe this was on Coronation Day. I can't really tell. And that's only because I don't, but someone posted that as though it was like some people celebrating the coronation, or I don't know if they were headed to Westminster Abbey. I don't know. I don't know, but I thought it was funny.
For the culture. For the culture.
Come on, aunties. You know the aunties have to show up and show out. All right, aunties. Oh, Olivia Harris, thank you so much for that. Have a good night, wonderful day, and laughter was well needed. Snuggles, thank you very much. All right. Okay. All right. All right. I'm just looking at the last of the comments. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay. See you guys.